Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and we are on Sunday stitching. Now, as you know, I put this together for my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery bag. That was the inside lining. This was all my work on the outside, and I started to build the handles and I just couldn't. I think I need to use this for something else. So, well done, Claire. You've now only got like 2 weeks left in March. So I had a rummage through everything in my stash and I found this piece. Now, it's not majorly slow stitched, but it has got a bit of slow stitching on it. And I just think, tea and chat, yeah, why not? So I'm going to start all over again and make a little drawstring bag. So I've got my front already done. I've picked this out for my back, good red sort of chicken fabric. So I can do some decoration on there. And then I found this piece of fabric. I know somebody is going to be saying, I recognise that fabric. With the hens and the poppies, and I just thought it was lovely red. Yep, that's going to work. So here we go all over again. So the front's done, the lining's ready to go. It's not going to have a handle because it's going to have a drawstring, and I think I'm just going to use some red ribbon for that. So I just want to do some decorative work to the back. And I've got this sleeve from a red lace top. So I thought if I pull open the seam, so we turn it inside out, I can get some beautiful lace roses on the back of my bag. So that's what I'm planning to do. I've got my little scissors here. I was going to get my big scissors, but I think the little ones will probably do. Oh yes, I remember now. This sleeve has got a pleat in it. I remember now. Because, you know, I buy lots of charity shop clothes for my stitching work. A, it works out really cheap. And B, of course, you're saving a bit of landfill. Oh, enough of the sermon, Claire. Okay, is that, see, it's got this like pleat in it here, which is very unusual. I don't know if I can open that up without snipping into the lace. I probably could if I was off camera and I wasn't sort of semi-rushing. So I'm going to go to the top rather than using the bottom. Okay, so you can see we've got this beautiful rose. Now, those of you that have been here for a while will know that when I use lace, I like to make the lace work for me, and instead of cutting straight lines, I like to cut around the lace pattern. To me, it just looks wrong when it's been cut in a straight line. It just looks wrong somehow. So I'm just snipping around this flower to get, as it were, my baseline. And then I've picked out this red thread, but I'm thinking now that's going to be much too red, isn't it? Oh dear, I'm going to have to look for something darker. So I'll probably have to switch you off in a minute while I rummage for a darker red thread. I know I recently bought a bag of pinks and reds from my charity shop. So, my charity shop, my local charity shop. So yeah, and I'm sitting here doing this with you. As always, I'm filming ahead. It's not actually Sunday, it's Thursday afternoon, and I'm waiting for my hair to cure. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Basically, I've been grey for a very, very long time. And it's not bothered me. Being grey doesn't bother me. But being white is starting to bother me a little bit. And we're going into summer, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a hair dye. I'm going to get one of those boxes, you know, that you do yourself. Because I'm not very prizzy. I'm not off to the hairdressers or anything. So I get a box dye, and you see now we've got that lovely shape. I think what I'll do is I'll just cut a wide strip, and then I'll see where I want to cut it size wise. I'll get one of those box dyes, and I'll turn the white pink for summer. Not a luminous pink, you know, the sort of fuchsia. That's a bit much for me. I know a lot of people do it and it looks awesome, but not for me. I've gone for a very subtle coral rose gold type colour. So maybe the next video I do, or at least next Sunday, I'll need to show you my lovely new pink hair. Although it won't mean much to you, will it? Because you never saw it before. Duh. Anyway, there you go. So I'm sitting here waiting for my hair to cure. It says 30 minutes on the box, but I do, because my daughter is actually a hairdresser and does proper salon colouring, I do know that 30 minutes is the minimum. All it basically means is that it's done all the activating it's going to do within that time. Leaving it on longer is neither here nor there. Now that I'm talking about the mild do-it-yourself home dyes. If you've got some strong professional stuff, I'm not, you know, please don't leave it on your hair for 5 hours and then say, well, Claire said it'd be all right. Why is it suddenly all gone green? Right, don't take hairdressing advice from me, please. I could obviously just put that strip right across there and I think it would be beautiful. But I was thinking more that I wanted diagonals. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut round this rose here, like so. Whoops, missed it a bit. And then, and I've titled this video Roxy's Journal Stitchery Bag All Change. And it is all changed because my hair's changing while I'm doing it. Oh dear, it's all fun, isn't it? It's all fun till it ain't, as they say. Oh dear. Hubby's not here. He's off at meetings, so it's just me and Boo, who's basically up on my bed sulking. See, now that is too much of a rigid pattern for me, so I'm now going to take this piece out as well. I mean, obviously it won't go to waste. It's all kept. That feels better to me. So I've got some pins in front of me. I'm gonna pin this on here, and I can stitch that in a minute. I mean, it's obviously not proper slow stitching, but we've got slow stitching on the front. Oh, bit of gold thread there. So we'll pin this down, and then we'll have a look at this top corner. Okay, so I turn it upside down. Obviously I've got this left from this cut out. I think it needs to be a much smaller piece, so I think we're going around this one here. So how are you all? It seems like we've moved a little bit into spring today. It's glorious sunshine outside. I don't know that it's... Right, I've got a bit of a flat end there, although it is the shape of the rose. So it's not really a flat end. Do we want to pop that on there? Yeah, I think we do. Maybe come up a little bit more, like so. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to pin this here. I'll stick you on pause for a second while I dig out a darker red cotton. It's more of a sort of burgundy, isn't it? Well, not quite, I don't know, but it's definitely not pillar box red. Right, I'll put you on pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. See, that was really quick, wasn't it? Really quick. Now, that's too purple, I think. That's too red. Oh, I think that one there looks perfect. I can hardly see it. So I'll get a needle. Also, I'm going to do a little invisible stitching anyway. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, sorry, I was saying it's like spring here today. It's not overly warm, but the sun is super bright. So indoors it makes you feel like it's spring, even if when you go out it's not. Oh, and I obviously split the glove because I've got hair dye up my fingernail. I'm just trying to see. I've got a bit of... Look, can you see? Got red hair dye. Oh, and that one. Oh well, obviously split the glove, didn't I? Oh dear. The trials and tribulation of home hair dye. So, I mean, growing up, I remember my mum doing her hair all the time. Every sort of, probably once a month or something like that, she did her hair. I think in my mum's case, unlike me, it was mainly time, because she worked full time, all way into her 60s. She never really had, especially when we were younger and at home, she never really had time to go to the hairdressers. Working full time like anyone else, she would sort of spend the weekends doing her housework. I mean, I'm not saying she's hard done by any means. I'm just trying to now think that, you know, working full time, she would definitely have had the money to have gone to the hairdressers. But no, I think it was probably time. Me, I'm just tight. Also, my biggest thing, my biggest hate of the hairdressers, you'll probably find this very bizarre, is mirrors. I've actually got a bit of a thing of about mirrors. There's only one mirror in my house, and that's in the bathroom. You know, on the medicine cabinet thing above the sink. I hate mirrors. I always have done. And I can't stand looking at myself in the mirror. Before I go out, I check my face in the bathroom mirror just to make sure I haven't got some kind of scarecrow haircut going on. And I leave. I hate mirrors. And to sit in the hairdressers for what is probably, an hour? In that chair, facing that mirror, I can't imagine anything worse. I really can't. So it's another reason I don't go. I even cut my hair myself. Don't misunderstand me, I am no hairdresser. But as many people discovered in lockdown, to comb it all forward and trim the ends is actually quite easy. And I've been doing that since I was about 20. The last time I went to the hairdressers was when my youngest daughter got married. Because as a hairdresser, she forbade me to do my hair myself. So I went to the hairdressers for my youngest daughter's wedding, which was 7 years ago. And prior to that, I probably went when I was about, oh my goodness, I don't even know, about 18. Because as I say, I've been cutting my hair myself since I was about 20. And when I was younger, I used to dye my hair all the time. Not because it was grey then, but because I've always been very, very dark, almost black hair. And I used to dye it sort of a gingery orange colour. So yeah, my hair has been box dyed since I was about 15. And then about, oh, I don't know, 9 years ago ish, I said no, enough. It was then starting to go grey, so there were times where I'd have tri-coloured hair, because I'd have the dye that I'd put in, I'd have my dark hair where the dye had grown out or was growing out, and then I'd have, you know, the grey hair as well. And I just went, enough. So I stopped, and I allowed myself to naturally age in the head department and have the grey hair and, you know, be satisfied, as it were, because I've never been that bothered really. But as I say, the grey seems to have now gone and moved aside for white, and I think that white is what's bothering me. So there you go. And I've said I'll go pink for summer. I know that by the time winter comes, because what are we in now? April, almost May. By the time winter comes, I'll have dyed it probably 4 or 5 times to keep the pink in, and I'll be done. I'll be like, no, I'm done with this now. So by the winter, we'll be going back to black and white. There you go, be like an old movie. Anyway, enough rambling about my hair. How are you all? You okay? You know, this crafting world is very, very small. I was watching a video the other day by a lady called Jen. I'm very sorry, it's very rude, but off the top of my head, I was going to say I can't think of a channel name, but I believe it's Journaling a Day or something like that. Anyway, I was watching one of her videos. She was using a book or pages from a book that I thought were awesome. So I just messaged in the comments and said, would it be possible to ask where you got that book pages from? And she came back and said, oh my goodness, something along the lines of, so nice to see your comment, I watch your channel. There you go, you see. We all watch each other. It's a very small world, this world of crafting. She did say that although the video I'd commented on being paper, the videos of mine that she tends to watch are mainly the slow stitch ones. It's interesting. I am noticing that I get a much higher count of views on my slow stitching or my stitching videos than I do on my paper videos, which is very interesting. I wonder if it's time to, you know, consider making a change. I do love sewing. Not always the slow stitch, but sometimes. But then to me, anything that's done by hand is slow stitch. It doesn't have to be the borrow work or applique work. Just anything by hand is slow stitching, really, isn't it? Whoops, pulled that pin out. So yeah, there you go. So this is probably a little bit boring for you, watching me just stitch this down. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to get this on and make this back a little bit prettier. And because obviously I've now only got 2 weeks, I really need to pull my finger out and get on with it. So, and being one not to waste time, I like the idea that I'm doing it while my hair's curing. Ow! Stabbed myself. That wasn't so clever. Don't pull that thread out, Claire. There we go. So, what else have I been up to? Well, of course, I'm working on the monthly journals. So, again, being a monthly thing, there's only 2 weeks of that left. What else have I been doing? Oh, just I'm working on the swap stuff with Mel over at Treasured Page. So my first and second swaps have been sent out. I'm always a little bit early, so I've received my first swap. And I did a video the other day of working with some of the pieces that my partner had sent me. It's not due till the end of April, so I'm not expecting the second one just yet. What else have I been doing? Obviously I did my design team video for Amanda over at Scrimpy Mummy, and I put the papers and the video up for the challenge members over on my Ko-fi site. So yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of stuff really, and it's been unusually busy with life here with the family this last week or so. My youngest daughter had a fairly minor operation, but obviously that meant all hands on deck because the children needed sorting out, because she was completely out of action for the first couple of days and will remain to be semi out of action for some weeks to come. So obviously she can look after herself, but she needs help with the children. They still need to go to school every day. Where am I? I'm here. So yeah, that's kept me a little bit busy. And my mum's had a birthday, so obviously there was cake and celebrations there. That's about it really. We're a bit quiet now on the birthday front because the next one is hubby. He's not till June, so we all tend to be the end and beginning of the year, the rest of us. So yeah, it's all good. Busy but good. So that's what we've been doing basically. I nearly had a new desk. I say nearly because it didn't happen, but I was hunting on eBay for library cards, and one of those vintage library card holders, the cabinets came up with the little drawers. I was like, oh, and it was quite a lot of money, and I was like, can I, can't I, can I, can't I? And I decided that maybe I could. So I got involved in chatting with the seller. But when push came to shove, it was just too far. I mean, I'm down in Kent and it was up in Bradford. It'd come out of Bradford Library. And once I'd worked out that getting it here was going to cost almost as much as the unit itself, that was the end of that. So it was a nice idea while it lasted. Like so many things. It seemed like a good idea in the beginning, and then once you start analysing it and working it all out, you realise that maybe actually it's not quite the good idea you thought it was. So I'm sure you've all been there. Note if you've not heard Boo at all in this video, probably the last few. She suffers with phantom pregnancies. I think I've told you all this before, and she's having one of those, going through one of those at the moment. So she's basically snuggled up on our bed with all her babies, which is quite hysterical because her babies exist of 2 tennis balls, 1 rubber ball and an squeaky toy in the shape of a Brussels. But you know, that dog manages to get all 4 of those items in her mouth at once and carry them around the house like her life depended on it. Part of the problem is that she spends all day on the bed looking after the babies that she doesn't eat. So I'm always trying to cajole her with something naughty, like some bacon or something. Something I know she can't resist. Oh dear. So that's why you can't hear Boo, because she's busy playing mum. But, you know, she'll be fine. We have it at least once a year. Basically every year since we've had her. We've had her since she was like 8 or 9 weeks old. She's just always done it. So there's lots of theories that, you know, you could get her to actually have puppies and that might resolve it. But as it's only a might, and I don't have space for like 11 rotties because they usually have litters up to 10, I would have to obviously sell her puppies or give them away or whatever, which means to me she'd then be heartbroken that she didn't have her puppies. So we're not doing that, especially as I've heard that it doesn't work anyway. It's only a might, or it's not guaranteed to work. So it's just part of her character. We just take it on the chin, as it were. It's just part of her. So, oh, lots of information today. Dying of the hair, the puppy problems, the daughter's op. We've talked about it all. Right, there you go. We've come all the way round. So we can close this up. Do you know what? The lady's name is not Jen, it's Rita. That was very rude of me. Got the wrong name. I do apologise, Rita. Rita Jensen, I think. Right. So, this is my bottom. This is my top. That's my back piece. That's my front piece. Okay, and this is my innard, so I'm going to turn it right sides together. I'm going to, oh, there she goes, she's having a little whine. I'm going to put it to the selvage edge. I'm just going to trim that off because otherwise we'll have extra bulk. We'll keep that though because it says happy hens. I might want that for something. Straighten that out. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, if I put that in there like that, just got to make sure, and I put that on there like that. Now in theory, if we stitch down this side, down this, all the way down this side, and across the bottom, there's some seamstresses out there going, no Claire, you've got that the wrong way round. I just want to double check. So I'm going to pin it before I attempt to do any stitching, because do you know what, I can already tell that this is wrong. I think if I'm going to do it this way, I can already tell it's wrong. I can fill it more waters. What I need to do is I need to put it right sides together, which is converse, that's the bottom, converse to what you would normally do. Normally you'd put right sides together, but I'm putting these right sides together, but then that's still going to be wrong. I think I was right the first time, because when I hang on. So we're going to stitch the top to the top, and we're going to stitch the top to the top, right, and then we're going to stitch the side to the side, all of the bottoms together, and then all of the sides together. But then, yeah, when we turn it inside out, no, because that's not the way you're doing it, Claire. You've got to do it without doing the bottom, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what's going to be easier? I'm going to cheat and I'm going to do it the easy way. So I'm going to, because I don't want to muff this up again, having already done one and decided not to do it, and I can't think while I'm on film. So I'm just going to stitch this down here, and across the bottom like that, and then I'm going to stitch this down the sides and along the bottom, and then I can turn it inside out like that. And I can turn this inside out, and then I can pop one inside the other. Yes, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so you're going to be totally bored watching me stitch all this, so I'm going to go away and stitch all this, and then when I come back next week I can show you my finished bag. Oh, well, I suppose I better go and wash my hair dye off. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found some joy and inspiration and a bit of a giggle along the way. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.